Hello and welcome to the unofficial Beausejour Senior Hockey League podcast. I'm your host, Corey, joined as always by my co-host, Corey.
But as always, why wouldn't I be here? It's a beautiful day. It's freezing.
Only freezing in your room. It's nice outside today.
It really is. I had both fans in the window open, so probably my fault.
Yeah, there you go. How was your week? Had a good week?
Had a good week.
We're starting to get excited for hockey, so we've been talking almost every night.
A little too excited. I cannot wait. And the second September gets here, it's going to feel even more real.
Yeah, there's some West Kent Steamers training camp stuff this weekend that we'll be at, exhibition games, and it's feeling like hockey, smelling like hockey.
Smelling like roses.
It's pretty exciting. So we'll start off. We're going to get into some BSHL stuff since we're the BSHL podcast. We might as well cover it. So we have one signing this week, Dalhousie, signing Patrick Heward. Guys played everywhere. Played at Kent Hill Prep School in Maine, University of Wisconsin, Université de Moncton, and then he played 9 seasons with the Kedrick Dynamo in the CRL. Clearly going to be an impact player on the ice.
Any player that plays 9 seasons with one team, probably tell he's pretty damn good. So
9 seasons of senior hockey. You gotta love it, man.
You gotta love it. I can't wait to see this guy on the ice. I can't wait to see the Marauders back on the ice. I can't wait to see every team back on the ice. I can't wait for senior hockey.
Just a little over a month away. The next thing we have. Next thing we have tomorrow. So as you're listening to this today, we will be in Amherst when this goes live for the unveiling of the Amherst Ducks jersey. Looking forward to getting there, Corey, eh?
Yeah, wasn't sure if I was going to be able to make it, but we happen to be off tomorrow. It's a little windy outside, so I am making the trip with Corey all the way to Amherst. Tracy. That's going to be the highlight of the ride. Just her judging me. How dare you go in public with that face?
Tracy's so nice to you. Stop.
I know, she's the best.
Next up, we have Les Corsaires announced a golf tournament. So it's the 7th annual Christian Lausier golf tournament. Funds from it are going to be going to Les Corsaires du Peninsule Acadienne. That's on the 7th of September.
Yeah.
So if you're in that region, get out there and support them.
Golf is fun.
Always fun. Golf is a great time. Some training camps have been announced. So if you're in the Peninsula, I think it's from Nigawak to Caracat, or I don't know the lines. Go on their page and they'll tell you where, but I think that's pretty close to what it is.
Yeah.
Training camp for Les Corsaires, September 13th from 8 to 9:30 at the SAD Arena in Tracadie. So literally a couple weeks away, and training camp begins for the Les Corsaires. How exciting is that, Corey?
It's still a month away. I cannot wait. There's just something about this time where the dog just freaks out, and you're just excited. You're just excited.
The dog is as excited as we are. Yeah. The Miramichi Northmen have also announced September 22nd at the Civic Center and September 29th at the LBA from 7:40 to 9:10 for their 2 training camp sessions. So September 22nd, September 29th. Again, go to the Northman group or go to our page, and you can kind of go through that a bit. But starting to see some training camp announcements. I can't wait. Man, it's kind of cool to see these things. I remember last year at this time, we were pretty much nothing. We had, like 60 followers, and it's grown a lot. So it's pretty cool this year to see all these announcements and, to be in a position to go to some of these things. So pretty exciting. This week, Corey, we're going to be previewing Les Corsaires du Peninsule Acadienne.
We are. I think it's one of the more interesting storylines so far for this season, a merger and all that, but we'll get into that when we get to that.
Yeah, so last year finished with one of the best series of senior hockey that I've seen in years. Tracadie versus Shippigan.
Mhm.
7 games, just a battle, rough hockey, teams that don't like each other.
Mhm.
Some of the best times that I've ever had watching senior hockey. That game 7 where they ran out of liquor
Yep.
and we were standing like 7 deep watching from the corner. It was just such a good environment. And now we have a merger. So last year, there was some junior B hockey that came into the region, and it kind of, Le Possédant, obviously, they kind of merged the region, and everybody was going to support one team. And I think senior hockey teams kind of saw that and went, hey, wait a second. Not a ton of players, probably enough players for 2 teams, but it would be a stretch. You're looking at games with 12 guys, 14 guys.
I remember last year where the season was getting close to start, and a few games had to be postponed because Tracadie can ice an entire team.
Yeah.
So that's something that people have forgotten about. It's not something new. I did go back this week on days that I didn't work. I believe Sunday I watched 2 live streams that we did. Both of them were the playoffs between Shippigan and Tracadie, and one was the sick game where myself and Mama Podcast and Cheryl all got sick, and the other one was game 6 where Tracadie won.
Yeah.
And just watching those, and even just being on your TV and watching that, you're feeling the excitement like you're right there.
Yeah.
And it's not there this year, but I get it. I get the merger. My big question is, there's a merger, Tracadie and Shippigan.
Mm-hmm.
How does the team gel? Because
that's a big question.
That's a big question because, trust me, at game 6, myself and Corey and Connor Smith, we were in the middle of a heated, let's just say friendly debate between a Shippigan player and a Tracadie player. And the language is all sorts of colorful. And like, I remember just thinking, my little self ain't going to stop these 2 giants from fighting. And we're the only thing in the middle of them. But
and now they share a locker room.
And the thing is, I remember thinking, I can't wait for game 7 now. I remember having a long conversation in the car with Corey and Connor about that.
Yeah.
And now we're teammates. How is that going to gel? I can't wait to see them on the ice, just to see the chemistry, if it's there, if it's not there, if, there's going to be some growing pains.
I think so too. I mean, I don't want to speculate on how that's going to go or what the team's going to look like, but you've got guys that are now sharing the ice that have been not bitter rivals, but bitter rivals for years. Now they're one team. I think if the team's winning and you're getting towards a championship, you're shitting roses. Life's going to be great. Yeah. If it goes the other way, I think it could be an interesting thing. If there starts to be struggles, it could be interesting. But I think this is going to be a powerhouse of a team. So I don't anticipate them being a team that's going to struggle to find a win.
I can maybe see them getting a slow start simply because
lack of chemistry.
It's new. I could see them like after a week or 2, maybe a couple of weeks, just starting to rack up these wins, and, becoming a force. We heard Charles Austin talk about the Tracadie dynasty. Yeah. It could be the Peninsula dynasty next, I
mean, some of the players that have already been announced, you're talking about leaders from both teams.
Yep.
Patrick Jones, Lucien Carlsonnier, Tommy Bezzo. These are guys that have been playing senior hockey for years. These are former captains of teams. Mm-hmm. There's no lack of leadership here. They've got Jeremy Duguay, Jean-Samuel Lagacé, David Basque, Frédéric Landry, Nicolas Richard, Luc Williams, Dallin Bulger, and Danny Chiasson announced to date. This is And you look at that, that's pretty much split almost 50-50 between the two teams. You've got a lot of guys coming from both teams. And again, I think the Peninsula saw something special with Les Possédants. They saw something that was unique, and they're like, hey, let's recreate this for senior hockey. Why have a team struggling to field a team and another team that maybe can field a team, but is it always a great team? 14, 15 guys, injuries, it gets tough. Now you're going to be looking at some of the best goaltending in the league, some of the best players in the league, all on one team. If they can gel and they can work together towards a championship under leaders like Patrick Jones and Lucien Carl Saunier, I think you could see something really special. And I'd have no problem in the month of February or March we making trips to Shippigan and Tracadie. I'll say that right now. I don't care where I'm going. I just want to see interesting hockey, good hockey, and we try to be as neutral as possible. Even though Travis tries to convince us to be Dalhousie fans, we just will not do it. I think it doesn't matter to me who wins. I think it's an interesting storyline if the Peninsula has a good run at it here.
It's that's the key word right there, or words, storyline.
Yeah, we're wrestling fans. I mean, we'll talk about
we're wrestling fans, but every team starts the season with a storyline. The storyline could change mid-season, but for them, the storyline is chemistry. Is it there?
Yeah.
And the first few games is going to really be must watch.
Yep.
Because this could really determine are we going to be a powerhouse? Are we a powerhouse in the making? Or is this just not going to work? Now, I don't think that it's not going to work. Yeah. I think there's too much talent there for it not to work.
And too many fans.
Many fans.
Both rinks should be packed every game.
Exactly.
It's going to be phenomenal.
We've been to games in the Peninsula, and we've been to games everywhere. There's no lack of fans in the BSHL, I guarantee you that. But in the Peninsula, I noticed that Tracadie fans were louder in Shippigan than they were in Tracadie, and Shippigan fans were loud everywhere. But I remember Tracadie fans just getting I was watching game 3, the sick game. It's in Shippigan, and their PA guy. All right,
so fun.
And the Tracadie fan, every time Tracadie would score a goal. All right,
yeah,
they
the Tracadie fans
roast
him.
That guy, just roasting him.
Yeah, I think it's going to be very interesting. I'm really looking forward to getting back to both of those rinks. I like both those rinks for different reasons.
Yep.
Shippigan has a really nice arena. The seats are very comfortable. The food's great. Tracadie's is a little bit older, but man, do I love it there. It feels like senior hockey. It literally just like it is senior hockey. Walk into that rink. So I miss it. I can't wait to get there. We were there a few weeks ago for a Tracadie Eagles baseball game. Congratulations to the Tracadie Eagles, by the way, on winning the Miramichi Valley Senior Baseball League championship last night in Miramichi. So congrats to those guys. That's it's a big win. I know that definitely a lot of crossover between hockey and baseball in this province. So congrats to them. That's huge. Will we now see Tracadie won it for the Miramichi League? Now maybe we'll see the Peninsula take home the BSHL champion. Maybe it'll be a double championship year for that region.
Maybe, you never know. Last year we picked who we thought was going to win at the end of the season. Yeah. I'm not doing that this year. You want to know why? Do you want to know why?
Who did we pick?
We picked Miramichi.
Did we both pick Miramichi?
We picked Miramichi.
I don't remember picking a champion.
Oh, we did. Man. You want to know why I'm not picking anybody this year?
Because you're scared to get your ass kicked by Travis?
No, not at all.
Because you're terrified of Parker Deegan.
A little bit of everything you said.
Trey Lewis?
Jeez.
You're scared of Trey Lewis. That's what it is.
I'd rather fight a grizzly bear. Here's my reason why I am not picking a winner.
Okay.
I have no clue who's going to win. And that's the fun part about this season. Teams on paper look very equal. Very. Even Bucktouche. Bucktouche looks head and shoulders better than last year.
Yeah.
And that's encouraging. That's very encouraging because Bucktouche really has become this little engine that can they win a championship? You know, I want to see it. As a former Hawks fan, I want to see Bucktouche win a cup.
Yeah, there you go. Pigs could fly. Who knows? Never thought I'd see the day. I agree with you. I think it's a town that could really use that. Senior hockey in Bucktouche is amazing. I have memories of the Allen Cup that are very fond, and I have some very good friends that are huge JCs fans. So I'd be very happy for them, but I don't really care who wins. I just want to see good hockey. I would like to be able to keep going to the JK as long as possible. So for that reason, I hope Bucktouche has a good run because it's close and just a beautiful rink.
Non-biased, but if the Hawks or the JCs could make it to the finals, that would be great because that means that it would be one ride less.
one game that's in our backyard.
One game
unless you can pick up like Dalhousie and move them to Miramichi or something.
Yeah,
that would be fine too.
Miramichi's still not that far. Dalhousie is a long drive.
Teleportation. We just got to come up with a way to do teleportation. So, Corey, do you think Les Corsaires are a better team this year than either Tracadie or Shippigan was last year?
I don't know.
Really?
I do not know. I think my gut says yes.
On paper,
yes. Of course they do.
On paper, you're merging two teams. The talent is there. On the ice, what's the chemistry going to look like is what you're telling me.
Anything on paper can look great. I might look good on paper. I don't know.
Yeah, who knows?
But
a little bit of Photoshop, print it, looks great. Man.
There you go.
You can put some hair on my head on Photoshop, print it, and I'd look good on paper too.
Here's the thing: until we see them play 3-4 games, and we see what they are going to be, my answer to that is I don't know. On paper, absolutely, they rival any team in the BSHL. The talent is there. It is there. It is beyond there. We've seen what they can do. We've seen both teams play against each other. And now they're one. And how entertaining were those games? And it went to 7 games. Now they're one. If they can bring that energy, that fight, that spirit, they are a contender. They're near the top when it comes to contenders. But they got to do the play, though. They got to make it work.
Shippian last year, getting to the second round, facing Dalhousie, it was tough for them to compete, but that's because they just faced this hard-hitting 7-game series against Tracadie. They were beat up. They were injured. They were missing guys. Guys that were there were injured. And I think that's the story of why that was a fairly one-sided series. Yeah. Now you merge the two teams. It's going to be a scary team. It
really is. It's going to be a scary team for opposing fans. For me as a BSHL fan, I'm going to enjoy every single moment that I get to see them on the ice. Same goes with every other team. I'm hopeful that they really go for it and just become this powerhouse, because I think the Peninsula being good is good for the league.
Yeah, I definitely would not be heartbroken to see them make a push for a championship this year. I think that's a region that has amazing hockey fans that I have a great deal of respect for. So
absolutely, same here.
They're splitting the games half between Shippigan and Tracadie, so 5 games in Tracadie, 5 games in Shippigan. What are you most looking forward to about getting back to Tracadie?
To see if they restock the beer.
Yeah.
No, different things for both places. I think Tracadie it's one of the arenas that we saw the least this year or last year.
Yep.
They got a good poutine.
And you've said that it's one of your favorites.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it was really good. The gravy's really good and all that.
No, I meant the arena. The arena's one of your favorites.
The poutine's good too,
Poutine's good. The poutine's one of the best poutines, but that rink is special.
The one memory I have is Game 7.
Yeah.
Game 7, where there's more people there's more people in that rink than probably in a friggin' public school.
It's an interesting comparison.
Yeah. It was just weird how Trackley fans and Shippigan fans just commingling, and people that know us but we don't know them are just like huddling around us and what do you guys think, and you guys live streaming, and we couldn't live stream.
No.
It was impossible.
Tim had the live stream that night.
Tim had the end of it. You had live streamed once by the glass where we were.
Same spot where Tim was.
Yeah, so I think there's just a hot spot right there.
That's the sweet spot. That's the sweet spot.
I'm looking forward to hopefully, I'm not sure if he'll be at any games, but seeing Charles Austin.
Yeah.
I think you can take the hockey player out of the game, but you can't take the game out of the hockey player. And I think he's going to be there.
So you're saying there's a game inside of Charles?
Yep.
That's interesting. What are you most looking forward to getting back to Shippigan for?
Not being sick.
Oh, okay. I really can't wait to get some of their food. I really like their food there, man. They've got that nice little bar. I like going and sitting in there and chilling a bit. It's a nice spot.
If I had to pick one arena over the other, sorry, Trackety, Shippigan's got a nostalgia for me right now.
Interesting.
And it's an arena that I don't know. I really enjoy that arena. I like the way it's made. I like that little bar thing. I remember one thing when I was at that sick game.
Where I love you refer to it as the sick game. Even I get confused sometimes. It's the sick game. All right, go ahead.
The sick game. There you go. Where I had the camera positioned, you could see like by the bar and all that. And they have this little lounge area where there's a TV.
Yep.
And I think there was a hockey game playing on the TV. And during intermission, I was like focusing so hard trying to see who was playing and never figured it out. But yeah, the sick game. I don't even remember saying this joke there. Corey was actually sick that day.
I was sick. Yeah, I stayed home sick.
And Corey asked me if Chris Doyle was dressed. Now, for hockey people, dressed means, is he playing? Is he dressed to compete?
Because I think he had taken a bad hit at the game before or something. Yeah. I thought that maybe he might be out.
So me being a smart ass, I go, well, Corey, it's pretty cold here, so I hope he is dressed.
It's the worst joke I've ever heard.
Made me laugh.
So we're going to go off hockey topic now. I think that's about all we have for Corsaires. I'm going to replay a couple of the Corsaires interviews that we got at the press conference after this. So hang around if you haven't heard those. They are in French. We're going to replay those at the end of this. Because I really enjoy those interviews. I love talking to Patrick Jones.
Yeah.
And, everybody's great. It's always great when you get to talk to Andre, you get to talk to Serge. But man, I really like Patrick. He's just such a polite guy.
Yeah. To me, his positivity is what drives it home for me, because after losing in overtime in game 6, came off the ice, saw us, and he was a little down, but the second he saw us, big smile on his face, and he said, "Oh, we'll get him next time, boys. Next game." And they did. That's a leader right there.
Man. So now we're going to go off hockey. Like I said, I'm going to share a story with you. So, Corey, you haven't even heard this story yet.
I haven't.
So I work in Moncton. I work at hospice, like I've said before. So I'm driving home today, and I left work late. I think got there a little bit early, got left late. It's been busy lately, man. We're rolling out some new stuff with our online electronic medical record system. So that's kind of my forte, and I've had a lot of longer days, and it's been a lot of fun spending time with a lot of my coworkers and stuff. I love my team there. So I'm driving home. Moral story, I'm driving home a little bit tired, and I talked to Tracy a little bit, hung up the phone with her, and I was just listening to some music. So I'm listening to that new Post Malone CD that came out. A CD, Corey's never heard of the CD. B, Corey's never heard of Post Malone, probably.
Yes, regardless. I have.
Okay,
Ozzy so did a song with him.
There it is. He released a new country CD that's actually I like country music. It's really good. It's one of my favorite country CDs that I've heard in a long, long time. So I'm enjoying it. I'm driving, listening to that. And as I'm driving, there's a car to my left. I'm on the 4-lane. I'm on the 4-lane between Kokang and Bucktouche. All right. So you can picture where I'm at.
Yep.
On the 4-lane, I'm driving, listening to some Post Malone. and there's a car to my left, and there's this eagle that comes in from my left and swoops down in front of my car. Dude, when I tell you, it was massive, all right? Like, when you see a bald eagle in person that close, they're huge, all right? It swoops down in front of my car, flies a little bit, and then cuts to the right. And I distinctly remember looking to my right. I braked because I didn't want to hit it, first of all. It scared the crap out of me. I braked, couldn't cut to my left because there was a car there. This bald eagle swoops in front of my car, swoops over to the right, and kind of like I'm going faster than it. So I just see like the wings and the head through my passenger window, but like barely next to my car. It was the closest I've ever come to an eagle. It was the coolest thing, man. First of all, had an instant panic attack because it freaked me out. It's scary as heck, but also just like eagles and what they represent and everything. It's just such a beautiful animal. I just want to share the story, man. It freaked me the heck out.
Man, yeah, you didn't tell me that story, and that's it kind of reminds me of what I told you yesterday about the shooting star.
Yeah.
Which I thought it was little green men.
Well, how much weed did you smoke before you saw this star?
This is fucking...
No comment? No comment.
People know me. I don't smoke. I barely drink.
Sure.
I was heading to work. It was pitch black at night. Probably like 5:30 in the morning. And this star explodes and goes down.
It's always cool when you see something like that. It's pretty special.
Like, the only thing I could compare it to was it looked like either a generator that blew up or like a firework.
But far in the distance.
Not that far. Not that far.
Let's go back to how much were you smoking?
Yeah, I just saw that my mom said because I'm driving with her to work. She said, I'm driving, she's in the passenger. She said she saw something fall and then poof, green, and then it went back down. It looked almost like a firework.
Man, I'm still a little rattled by the eagle thing. You're still a little rattled by the star. I don't know how we're going to get this to Amherst tomorrow.
I got some weed if you want.
Probably. All right, man. Can't wait to see the Corsaires. Can't wait to get back to tracking and ship again and see some people there that we made friends with. Like you said, hopefully we'll see Charles Austin there sometime.
Yeah.
But that's all we got for this episode. Thanks for listening to my weird eagle story and Corey's marijuana-induced shooting star story.
I call it the Green Goblin.
We'll be back next week to preview the Amherst Ducks. We're really looking forward to that one. And, thanks for listening. Corey, thanks for being here.
Shout out to T-Dog.
T-Dog. God. I'm sorry for this, Travis. I mean, I think he's going to stick.
I'm going to make it stick.
See you next week. Take care.
Take care. T-Dog.
Je suis ici avec Patrick Jones, ancien des marchands de Chipagon à Sur, avec les Corsaires du Peninsule Acadienne. Patrick, comment ça file?
Ça file vraiment bien, là, first look là, au chandail, là, puis vraiment impressionné, puis vraiment satisfait là, du résultat final là, sur le logo et tout ça. Là.
Qu'est-ce que tu as à dire aux partisans de Tracadie de Chipagon qui sont un peu inquiets de cette décision ici?
Don't worry about it. On va faire nos preuves cet hiver là, dès la première partie. Là, on va faire sûr que vous savez c'est quoi qui était le plan derrière tout ça. C'est dans le but là, on veut être une équipe de hockey qui est très forte. Puis on veut amener du monde dans les arénas cet hiver. Il y en avait beaucoup l'an passé là, quand la série là, Tracadie puis les Marchands. Donc cet hiver là, on a joiné les équipes là, puis on veut que ça s'aille encore plus fort. Fait que le hockey va être bon là.
On est pas mal primés de voir ça. Une équipe du Peninsule Acadienne, beaucoup de talents de par ici. Merci Patrick pour ton temps.
OK, pas de problème Corey, merci à toi. Ça va bien.
Corey. Hey, on est ici avec l'entraîneur-chef du Corsaire du Peninsule Acadienne, Dave Cohen. Dave, des gros annoncements aujourd'hui, comment ça file?
Je suis vraiment excité de pouvoir commencer une si belle aventure avec une nouvelle équipe, une direction. Je pense que tout le monde est emballé. Les joueurs sont ici. Je pense que oui, on est excité. J'ai hâte de pouvoir commencer à travailler avec mon équipe d'entraîneurs, la direction, les joueurs pour emboîter le pas, disons.
Beaucoup de partisans qui nous suivent. Qu'est-ce que tu as à dire aux partisans? Pourquoi est-ce qu'ils devraient sortir à l'aréna cet hiver? Moi, je sais les raisons, mais...
Je pense si ces gens-là ont vu le Poséidon de l'année passée, une équipe, je pense, qui nous a ouvert les portes ou qui nous a montré beaucoup de choses en ayant une vision péninsulaire, je pense que le calibre va être extrêmement fort. Je pense que vous pouvez le voir, les autres équipes, tous les gens qui signent, tout ça. Ça va être du hockey extrêmement, je pense, rapide, avec un beau calibre de jeu. Les gens vont avoir des méchantes belles parties à aller voir.
La moitié des games vont être jouées à Chipagon, la moitié à Tracadie, c'est ça que c'est?
Oui, c'est ça. On parle de 24 parties, 12 locales, qui veut dire 6 à Chipagon, 6 à Tracadie. C'est ce qui a été déterminé.
Vraiment excitant. Merci beaucoup pour ton temps, Dave.
Plaisir.
Mes amis,
Comment ça va?
ça va bien.
André, on est ici avec André, le directeur général des Corsaires du Peninsule Acadienne. Moi, je veux plus te parler des règles. Vous avez les imports comme n'importe quelle autre équipe, sauf le gardien. Puis vous avez 5 juniors, c'est ça?
Oui. C'est les mêmes règlements pour toutes les... Au début, ça accrochait un peu, mais c'est les mêmes règlements pour toute l'équipe du circuit Beau Séjour. Puis je pense que c'est fait. On peut pas faire une ligue puis avoir des règlements pour 5 équipes puis avoir un autre règlement différent qu'une autre équipe. Puis je pense qu'on a apprécié le fait que la dernière rencontre, que les dirigeants de toutes les autres équipes ont accepté d'avoir les mêmes règlements égaux pour toutes les équipes du circuit. Nous autres, c'est sûr qu'on a déjà 2 cartes junior A, qu'on avait Tristan Mercure puis Galen Balger de l'année passée, qu'on veut garder l'autre. Il nous reste 3 cartes junior A. On veut faire place aux joueurs de la péninsule acadienne avant de remplir ces cartes-là. Mais l'import, oui, on va les chercher. Puis dans les buts, je pense que ça ne nous intéresse pas. Dans les buts, on a 3 bons gardiens à la péninsule acadienne.
Oui, beaucoup de talent dans la péninsule acadienne. Les partisans qui sont un peu inquiets de ce site. On est pas mal content de voir l'équipe. L'énergie dans ce champ ici était pas mal haut. Qu'est-ce que tu as à dire aux partisans de Chipagon puis de Tracadie?
Oui, moi j'invite cordialement les partisans de Chipagan, les partisans de Tracadie, les partisans aussi de Caraquette, parce qu'il y a quand même des joueurs de hockey de Caraquette qui font partie de l'équipe des Corsaires de la péninsule acadienne. Moi j'invite les gens de la péninsule à venir voir le produit qu'on va avoir sur la glace, qu'elle soit à Chipagan ou à Tracadie. Puis je pense qu'on va mettre une bonne énergie, puis la foule ne sera pas déçue du spectacle.
Parfait. Merci beaucoup, André.
Merci à vous autres d'être ici.